Hi, it's Jasmina Devil, the Bipolar Devil. I'm back with part 3, Diagnosed with the Devil. I'll be talking about things I experienced during my hospitalization. While I was being admitted, while I was crazed and obviously incapable of making decisions, I was handed paperwork and asked to sign some things I still don't remember why I was signing. This was Linden Oaks Hospital, a mental care facility in Naperville. As soon as I knew I was staying, I was trying to escape. I hadn't slept in days. I had so many things running through my mind. Yesterday, I was looking through my medical reports. They're like this thick from 10 years ago. And now I recall feeling like I was being watched. Like there were cameras on me even when I was outside. I was extremely paranoid about Google and the maps, and how when I Google searched my house, one of my dogs was sighted taking a shit on camera. I Googled my address and my dog was squatting next to the house. I mean, if you can get any more detailed than that, you probably will. So, I was rambling on about cancer and AIDS and how they could be cures for one another. I was paranoid about our country. I think the government paranoia thing is a pretty normal thing for bipolars and schizophrenics. I was paranoid about how our country's a giant game, how it's like a race of some sort. I was paranoid about Puerto Rico and how my family in Puerto Rico is being affected by the country. I was out of control, screaming, laughing, throwing temper tantrums. I was aroused, like aggressive, like mad, and aroused, like horny aroused, but not normal aroused. And I was sedated. They put me out. After all that shit, they put me out. I probably needed to be put out, but I didn't want it to be put out. I was tackled down by 4 people, probably more than one time, in this hospitalization. I had my pants ripped down and stuck hard with needles. Don't even know what kind of tranquilizer they were giving me. I became a guinea pig. I was given drugs that made me lactate, drugs that made me have speech impediments, drugs that made me piss myself, drugs that made me immobile while I was hallucinating and terrified. Imagine hallucinating and not being able to move because you were tranquilized and you're completely out of your mind. I hated feeling like I needed to be understood. Instead, all of the help that I got, I mean, they refused to listen to anything that I wanted to say or had to say. They told me I was wrong and they made me feel humiliated. I don't care if I was wrong. Psychology should not be associated with a person's knowledge or lack thereof. I feel like I was violated, I was hurt, I was scared, I was worried for my life, I was belittled. I don't remember exactly how out of control I was, but I can assure you that I was not dangerous. I was no way harming anyone. I mean, I'm a little girl. I mean, and if you're afraid of me, then maybe you shouldn't be working in your field. I mean, I was stripped down. It's not like I had weapons, you know, like, who the fuck are you? I think I could have been handled differently, with care, instead of, you're wrong, little girl, shut up, go the fuck to sleep. I agree. I've been young, I've been stupid, I was young, but not deserving of hate. I was diagnosed with bipolar 1, and I was given lots of drugs. There were other people in the unit I was in. I remember sharing space with an anorexic, a biologist who snapped, a guy who thought he was a king of some sort, an autistic girl, and a schizophrenic. I think there were a few more, but those are the ones that stick out in my memory. The anorexic was quiet, and she never ate. I really pitied her. I felt sorry for her. She made me really hungry. I mean, that's not even a joke. She actually made me really hungry. The biologist who snapped was literally making noises and calls, and she was like a source of entertainment for me. I just wanted to keep watching her. The king just sat in one spot mumbling to himself all day long in one spot. The autistic girl kept saying she was a lesbian and she didn't like men. And the schizophrenic was as crazy as I was, and we rambled on about everything. While in group, I felt like I could hear his thoughts and that he could hear mine. So telepathy was a real thing for me. Still is. But it's not like I can read minds. I feel like if somebody is thinking really loud, maybe I could hear it. Do you know what crazy is? No, you probably don't. And it's not your place to use the word crazy if you're not crazy, like me. A few weeks went by and I went home, loaded on drugs. I got a job, did a little bit of life. I got a little bit normal again. Soon after, I had another manic episode, with no use of drugs. I didn't use any drugs. I just had another episode, like it was just a thing that happens to me now. My family and myself were confused. I didn't really have anyone. I didn't have anyone else in my life. My second episode was intense and it made sense to me, but it truly has been a crazy ride. these first few episodes happened when I was fresh, young, disorganized, uneducated, and exposed my skeletons to everyone and anyone in my life, whether I wanted it to or not. Everyone just knew something happened to me. This left me alone and scared for my life. As I've grown older, the episodes I have more soul and purpose. I really tried hard after the first few times of ending up in the hospital to stay out of the hospital. So I kept on the medicines. I kept, making my life a regular life. Just making sure that I had a regular schedule. Now my life's a little bit different, but I've learned a lot, so I can kind of tweak some things. But my latest hospitalization, the very last time I was hospitalized in a different hospital in Illinois Masonic. I felt like I had a better experience there, but the hospitalization occurred because I was manic about the company I was working for, because I was keeping my own account records because I kind of had to. I was working off commission, and when you work off commission, you want to keep track of what you're bringing in so that you can just make sure you're getting paid right. And I discovered that my check was being cut very finely, but enough for me to notice. So I brought it up to management, and I was immediately written a check for an amount they said was an honest mistake. I was suspended for 2 weeks for something ridiculous. But I still have my records from that. I like to keep track of what I'm doing. I'm not stupid. So I got really upset and worked up about it. I know this journal is kind of jumping around a lot, but there's a lot of stuff to go over, to even think about that happened. Bipolar is a real asshole, and if you don't take care of yourself and do what you need to do, like eat, sleep, challenge yourself instead of feeling sorry for yourself, if you do that stuff, you'll get smart, and I'd have to say a lot stronger than the average being. I know this journal is kind of skipping around, but next time I'll describe the mania before I left my second hospitalization. I'd stripped down while I was walking down the street downtown Naperville in the middle of the night. I danced on top of a Dick Tracy statue naked. And I stormed a castle in Naperville. How weird is that, right? Before I hang up, I want to say I'm careful when I surround myself with others. It may and has come with the alteration of my own being. I recently found myself doubting my opinions and beliefs. Thankfully, a strong voice in my head said, never let someone or something make you feel ashamed of yourself. And immediately I felt no shame. Do not let anyone or anything make you doubt yourself. And that's all I've got for tonight.